All right, we are live. I thought I'd do a little bit later in the afternoon slash early evening video. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to check out my video. I'm always humbled and definitely appreciative of anybody that takes the time to watch. And I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I have two Silver Age key comics. Both of them are actually DC comics, and one of them I keep finding now, and very happy with them, and looking forward to unboxing them. Even though technically they are in Gemini mailers and the Manila envelope of death, but it does feel like at least there's cardboard in it, so we'll make sure the comics have arrived safely. So while I'm waiting for people to come on in, let's first say hi to GT Key Comic, my number one commenter during my live shows, and always appreciated. Welcome. One of my moderators is present and accounted for, gives the old thumbs up and waves hello. Hello back. Hopefully you are enjoying your day. Always appreciate you here. Join the live chat if you want. I do a surprise subscriber shout out at the end. You don't even have to be a subscriber to get that shout out. And let's give a shout out of our paid Patreon members. So if you want to join my Patreon at patreon.com/, we love comics, you'll get your name up on here and shout it out every single video. New feature for paid Patreon members is when I do my auctions, which by the way, my next auction is this coming Sunday, which is the um 24th, I believe. Yes, at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Just this past Sunday, I did my sneak peek video where I show all of the books. So you have the ability up until the day of the auction to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and be able to acquire any of those books, which by the way, one of the books did sell. So in case you did not see the post that I did the other day, somebody took advantage of that and bought the Fantastic 448, the 5.0, so that's no longer available. But if you join my Patreon and become one of my paid members, you now have early access to where you have 1 week before the sneak peek video comes out, which means 2 weeks before the auction starts, where you can request a list of the books and you can be able to make an offer on any of the books before even anybody sees them on the sneak peek video, which means you don't have to worry about missing the auction, getting outbid, and losing the book out because somebody else wanted it more, or getting into a bidding war and end up paying higher than you might have if you made an offer. So as long as it's a fair offer, I tend to accept them because the beautiful thing is because I get my comics at such good discounted prices, basically I could sell them cheaper than you'll get on eBay or some other sales on other places because I'll just take less profit and make somebody else be able to acquire a book and get it for a cheaper price without any eBay taxes. So join at patreon.com/we love comics and you can get that. We also got Kim is in the house. Always good to see you. Another one of my moderators. Sith Lord is here. Says, what's up? Hello. Good to see you. Patreon giveaway. If I get to 20 paid members, currently we're at 15. So we're almost there. But for every $2 that you put in, you'll get one entry. Once we get to 20 paid members, I do a giveaway. Let's see if we can make that happen. And let's put on the video camera. So here's the first one. This is the closest thing to a box. You can see a little bit of an indent there. They were nice to put the Fragility on there. Obviously, I know that says fragile for anybody that thinks I don't know how to read. But this is a book that I got a really good deal on. Now, people always say that in the comic book community, and then they never share with you what that deal is. I'm going to share that deal because this was a buy it now best offer. And I do find that most people, ooh, that was a good rising of my voice there. All of a sudden, I'm going through puberty. It's about time. Um, a lot of people, when they see the price of a book and then they'll have a best offer, they'll do maybe 10% discount, maybe 15%. I like to get as low as I possibly can, and there are times they'll just flat out refuse, and then they won't even give you a counter offer. There's some that have counter offers, and there are some that will just accept whatever the price is. I love those type of people. This was one of those people. Now, I actually have a couple of copies of this one, but I mean, especially when you're talking a key DC book, and thumbs up out there if you are a DC comic fan or a comic fan in general. Um, I don't mind getting these books, especially with the prices that I can get them for. because DC, let's see what they do after Superman and if they continue with the DCU. And let's hope they start doing more, a little bit more and more of what the fans want instead of what they were doing in the last phases of not only the MCU but DC, and correct the direction the ship was going, if you understand what I'm saying. So when you see prices getting lower on key books, that's a buying opportunity. So Kim says, better late than never. Absolutely. Says amazing packaging. This is the better packaging of the two. So be prepared for the second one. Again, like I said, the manila envelope of death, but they were nice enough to put cardboard. Okay, so here is the first book. This is Flash number 139, which is the first appearance of Dr. Zoom, aka Reverse Flash. I mean, if you think about it, he is the Joker to the Batman as far as main villains of the Flash. So, I mean, this is a highly sought after book. This is a lower grade, but it's not a 1.0 or a zero point 0.5 or anything. But you can see, a good dry clean could help it. It's got color breaking creases along the spine. This is obviously a book that's been read. I would say this is about a 2.5 to a 3.5, probably 2.5 to 3.0. Obviously, I'd have to check the whole book out. But this book was listed at buy it now for 300, which still isn't a bad price for this book. Because if you look on eBay, about a 2.5 sells for around $300. So the 300 was about what you would pay for this. Obviously, it's ungraded, so you don't know what the grade would come out as. It could be higher, could be lower. But because I see best offer, now if this was something where they had it $75 in a best offer, I'd buy it without even making an offer because it'd be gone before I ever got a response, if I got a response. But I ended up from a $300 best offer. I offered them $175 for this book, and they accepted it. So almost half of what they were looking for. So you're talking about a 40% discount, and they accepted it right away. So with shipping and handling and taxes, because you got to love eBay, adding taxes onto the books, very nice of them, comes out to $193.67. So under $200 for the first appearance of Reverse Flash, the major DC Flash villain. Again, lower grade, but low grade better than no grade. For under $200, I'm very happy about that. I think that is a great deal, and it shows it's not bad and not difficult to make offers on books. Like I said, there are a few that will get insulted. Those people, that's just ridiculous. I mean, calm down. If somebody offers you, I mean, who doesn't want a deal on anything? The worst case scenario for you to respond should be, that's a little too low than what I'm looking for. Thank you. But if you come up with a higher price, we can negotiate, or they can come up with a counter offer. But like one out of every 100 people, for some reason, they'll email you and they'll be insulted. I think, just grow up. But most people will either do a counter offer where it's fair, or you have to kind of go back and forth, which happens. Sometimes the game is, who's ready to say, all right, I can let it go, or I could buy it at that price. And some, they'll just accept the offer right away because you never know the reasons why they're selling a book. There could be a person that found that book in their, they were cleaning up in their new house and they found it in the basement, and they spent $0 on it. So for them to make $175 on something that they had and cost them nothing, to that person, that's a jackpot. So deals are out there and you could make deals. So, I mean, we'll see what happens when I get that book graded, but let's say it comes back at 2.5, and let's say that book is roughly about a $300 book. Well, I have room right away to be able to make some kind of profit with it. You don't have to wait long periods of time. And this is what I want to try and teach my viewers, that if you are patient and wait for deals, and you are active in making deals happen, you can actually make a nice, decent living selling comic books and using that extra profit to either upgrade to better books, to get books you didn't think you would be able to reach your price range in, or just to get bills paid. That's why my job now is to once every few months do an auction. And because I get discounted prices on books, I can be flexible with prices. So it makes me happy because I'm making profit. It makes the buyer happy because they could buy them for cheaper prices than what they could normally get them for. And everybody wins. But if you're just buying books because it's a book you really want, or you're afraid to make a deal, you're going to have to hold on to a book for 10 years in hopes that it goes up. And by the time you lose the dollar value amount in that 10-year period, you better hope it increases a lot. Otherwise, your purchasing power of that same dollar, $100 now, does not buy you what it could buy 10 years ago. You'd probably be able to buy double the amount of groceries with the same $100 10 years ago because of the devaluation of the currency. So you got to know these things. And most comic book channels do not factor in the business aspect of things like a depreciating dollar. So holding on to your investments long term is not the wisest way to be able to increase revenue. Plus, if you have to hold on to a book for a decade, that's 10 years of your money not doing anything. So where is the benefit of that? And I'm talking obviously to people that are maybe not flippers, but somebody who sells their book as, you buy something and if you could sell it, how wonderful is that? I mean, you buy yourself a can of soda. Once you drink the can, unless somebody collects cans, you'll get 10-cent refund, but you're not getting your money back. So certain things you spend your money on, you never see the light of day. Comics, you can put them on your wall and enjoy them for a while. You could read them and then get sick of reading it after 500 times, turn around and sell it, and sometimes even sell it for more money than you bought it for. How many things in life can you buy that can you say that about? I mean, if you buy a brand new car off of the lot at a car dealership, as soon as you drive it off, it all instantly loses about 30% just by driving it off the lot. So you can actually do a decent living doing something fun. When I lost my job after with COVID and with the economy not doing that great back in 23, and when I lost my DJ job because the business went out of business, I was disappointed in that. I was almost not afraid, but I was concerned about, having to start at another bar and building up a rapport because I was a karaoke DJ, my own business. And then I just decided, you know what? I want to do something that's fun. And I started selling the comics, doing the auctions, and earned, you know, I'm not going to ever have Bill Gates money, but I don't need Bill Gates money. But I get the bills paid. And the people that purchase from me are very happy because I'm working with them and I do things as far as payment plans and um, schedulings and price discounts and things like that that no one else does. So let's get to the next one because you guys know me. I love to rant. If you love my rants, you can thumb it up. If you hate my ramps, my ramps, if you hate when I build ramps and they're not, far enough for you to skateboard or bicycle over, you can thumb it down. And if you used to make ramps when you were a kid, let me know how you used to build them. But this one, all right, we'll see what happens. All right, so they did put a receipt, but they did not put the price, but they say, Christopher, from one collector to another, enjoy your bonus comic. Okay. If you haven't already, please. Okay. Thanks for shopping. Looks like Stuve, but I think it's Steve. But that was nice of them. Now this one, so I look forward to seeing what the bonus comic is. This one at least has some cardboard, not exactly the greatest amount of cardboard for protection, but hey, if it was enough to keep it from bending, I'll be very happy about that. Now this one was an auction. So I was actually, again, it's a low grade book, but you know the line. If you can get a good deal on a key issue, and I've never owned this book before, I mean, why would you not want to bid? So I'm actually very surprised no one really bid on this. Now, of course, when it comes to a free book, it's an image, Wildstorm Chamber of Horrors. Ooh. But still, very nice. They don't have to do that. Potentially 9.9, 10.0 book. Probably not since I just touched the back and it's all black. But still nice nonetheless. Now this one has tape all out along down the spine, which I knew when I bought it. It's got a lot of color break increases, so this is probably a 2.0, at most 2.5. So again, lower grade, but complete. Colors look pretty good. I don't know whoever, I doubt this person was the original owners, but you never know. But all right, let's just go into it and then I'll go for the price of what I won. And again, I always include shipping and handling and taxes. So I got Brave and the Bold, issue number 34, which is the first Silver Age appearance of Hawkman and Hawkgirl and their origin. So this is a minor key book, but still a key nonetheless. I always thought this was a weird monster they had in there. You know, it's like a tiny little body with this giant oversized head. But still, first Silver Age appearance of Hawkman and Hawkgirl and their origin. And again, even in lower grade, you're talking a couple of $100 for these. So this is not a $50 book or anything. But I won this with shipping and handling and with taxes. I won this for a grand total of $93.10. So under $100 for, as the person says, a complete version of this book is definitely not a bad price for a DC minor key book. So it's not a grail or anything. It could be somebody's personal grail, especially if you are a Hawkman fan. And the first appearance of Hawkman in Golden Age is going to be a lot more expensive than what you can get for this. So sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles and what you're willing and able to afford. But for $93.10, I'm not going to complain about that at all. And again, that was an auction. So people, I guess, didn't see the potential in that book, or maybe a lot of people avoid lower grade books. And I love that because lower grade books means that more people can afford them. Because who wouldn't want a 9.8 of this book, especially if you're a Hawkman fan? But you're going to pay in the thousands for that book, which will eliminate a lot of people from purchasing it. But if you have a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 version of this book, now you're talking only a couple of $100, which is going to have more people be able to afford it, better chances and higher chances of turning around to sell it to use to buy other books or upgrade to a better conditioned book. So for what I paid for both of these, basically most people would buy only one of these for the price I paid for both. So it shows the deals are out there. One was a buy it now best offer in Flash 139, and the other was an auction that closed. I think it closed at like $75, $80. So with eBay taxes and shipping and handling, came out to $93.10 for two minor DC keys. I think obviously the Flash one's a little bit more of importance than the Silver Age Hawkman, because it's not his first appearance ever, because that's Golden Age. But still, a cool book that I've never had to add to my collection that I got at a really decent price. It's a win-win. So those are the two books. If you want to critique my AI art, by all means, please do. I wanted to do I'm going to do like a whole little baby series of superheroes and supervillains. So I thought the best one to start out with, and I love the meanness and the kind of, he's almost kind of like a cute ugly baby. I thought I would do a baby Thanos in his crib. So if you want to critique that, let's see how good people are with their movie trivia. Put this in the comments section. That's supposed to be his Infinity Gauntlet, but it kind of looks like a gauntlet from another. It will be a villain from another comic book movie. Let's see if you can guess who you think that gauntlet looks like from what movie. So if you know what movie and what character you think I'm referring to, because again, it doesn't look like an Infinity Gauntlet, put it in the comments section and I'll let you know if you're right or not. And we'll see if we have some people that are good at comic book movies. I will give a hint. It will be neither a DC or a Marvel character. So you'll have to think a little bit outside the box. And again, it's not a hero. It's actually a main villain of a movie that was a comic book related movie. Kim, let's just put it this way. You're close, and we'll leave it at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a shout out to my surprise subscriber shout outs. And since we only have a few people here, I'm going to give them to everybody involved. So, Kim, Sith Lord, and GT Key Comic. All three of you are today's surprise subscriber shout outs. You guys know what to do in the comments section. Again, if you want to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/we love comics. You now have early access, if you become one of my paid members, to all of my auctions where I have cash and check discounts off of prices. I have payment plans anywhere up to 2 years, depending on the price. I will ship your books out protected and quickly, priority mail domestically. Just contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com for any questions. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, my next auction is this coming Sunday, which is August 24th at 3 p.m. I did a sneak peek video this following Sunday that just passed, just 2 days ago, where you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com for with any of the books that you see. If you make a fair offer on them and I accept, it never sees the light of day of the auction. So many people take advantage of that. And like I said, one of the books is already sold, and that's Fantastic Four number 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus in a cameo at a 5.0. So that one's gone. So Sid says, does look like Heel Boy. Oh, well, I know what you meant. Um, Remember, like I said, I'll say that you guys are close, but remember, I said a villain. So there is a villain in that particular movie franchise that has a very similar looking gauntlet as to you see right here. But remember, it's not Hellboy himself because he's the hero. So I'm talking an actual villain. So let's see if somebody can remember who I'm talking about. He was only in one of the movies. But at least you guys are on the right path, and which I love about my followers. You guys are pretty smart, so you're halfway there. So if you remember what it was, put it in the comment section once this uploads. Till then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up or thumbs down. Thank you to those that hit the subscribe button, and for those that hit the unsubscribe button, thank you so much for your time. You can come back anytime. You are always welcome. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I look forward to anyone that messages me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com to be able to get any of the offers made for the sneak peek video for the uh, auction that I'm doing on Sunday. And quick pick thing here, you could see the payment plans that I do that no one else does. I do things on my auctions that no other channel does. And remember, I am the original person that created comic book auctions on YouTube. So I was not only the first, I also extend so many discounts and courtesies that no one else actually provides. And I only sell graded books and only key books. So you don't have to worry about wasting your time watching videos about dollar fillers that you don't care about. I sell the books you want to add to your collection, some of them rare and some of them very valuable. So hopefully you'll check them out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. And don't forget, it's not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. I'll see you next video. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.